Regional High School District Board of Education meeting this September 25th, 2025. Please stand. No, can we have the roll call, please, Mrs. Kirk? Ms. Calderon? Here. Ms. Guzman? Mrs. Wong? Here. Ms. Keller? Mrs. Martin? Here. Mr. Stankin?
Present.
Mr. Weaver?
Here.
Ms. Stephens?
Present.
Mrs. Marquez? Here. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing copies of said notice to the record, filing copies of said notice with the municipal clerks of Hillsdale, Montvale, Rivervale, and Woodcliff Lake, and publishing said notice in the record on September 23rd, 2025. Can I get a motion to enter into executive session, please?
So moved.
We are in executive session. We're gonna leave, right?
We're gonna leave.
Yep. We don't need to bring anything with
We're
us.
gonna meet.
Oh, we're going.
Yeah, we have to go.
Yeah, you have to.
We have a settlement to discuss and then we'll come back. Oh.
You know where the room is? 222?
No, but I can usually
will have comments from the public. Citizens are invited to make comments regarding agenda items, and they're limited to 3 minutes according to the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education, policy number 0167. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, sign in, and state their name, town of residence, and which agenda item they are referencing. Okay, seeing as how there's no one to speak from the public, we'll move on. Next, we have human resources, where we will be discussing the process of the superintendent search.
So, I'll just speak briefly, and then we can just discuss how you guys would like to proceed. I gave each member a folder that contains some information, the timeline that I presented at the retreat, the other information is from the previous search that was done, using a search firm, and along with the survey that was sent out to the public. So it gives you an outline of what to expect during the search at least, and then we need to decide how we want to proceed from here as far as what are our next steps and the timelines we want to put on those next few steps. I also had a discussion with our law firm, our attorneys, to just find out what assistance they could provide. And they said they're more than happy to review any type of questions that we would want to bring forth to candidates to make sure that they fall legally within the limits, that they would obviously be part of negotiations with the final candidate, they would review job postings, but they would stay out of the interview process, they would stay out of reviewing resumes, they would leave that up to the board as part of you guys doing your own initial search.
So we just go through what Dirk, the superintendent search for our company. So we have to, as far as in deciding on a search process, are we in agreement that we are going to do the process ourselves? Does anyone else have comments or any thoughts about doing it differently than that?
So are you saying instead of like last time having a company assist us, we're just literally gonna post it and then take application?
And go through the application. So we'll have a initial, like a committee made of 4 people, and they'll go through all the resumes, and essentially like last time, you know, group A, that really fits the bill, B, there's and then C, not so much. So every board member will have access to all of the resumes, but it will be put into these categories so that it makes the process a little bit more streamlined.
And I know you left the retreat a little bit early. When I was,
there,
okay,
sorry.
so I'm sorry. When I was, after I resigned, my board decided to conduct their own search as for my replacement. So I've been through this process, when the board has done it on their own. I help them logistically go through it, so I have some experience going through this.
Thank you. Great. Do we need to vote on this?
No, I think
So-
if there's anyone in disagreement, that should be the first thing to bring up, right? So as long as there's no one who's in disagreement, I think we can safely say that we are all in agreement.
So we're just skipping this October date where we're hiring a search company?
Right, the part of it where it's award the search company, but then the whole community outreach, posting, data collection and interview process. You know, will be, that we have to do. Do you have questions?
No, well, all of you have experience, just we don't, so do it.
I wanna make sure though that you're heard, right? Like, so if you have questions, make sure you stop, me or anybody else. So, okay, so we are settled on the fact that we are going to do the search ourselves. So let's move on to October, which is next thoughts?
I do think that we should send something similar out to the community, seeing if anything drastically has changed. I think you're gonna see a lot of the same trends, right? And then I think that those groups gave us an opportunity to kind of get a better idea of like, what do the teachers need? I feel like we need to kind of have a sampling, before we actually go out to the interviewing and data collection from the resumes. So that when we look at the resumes, and I just looked at, the questions like, is it important that they were superintendent? Is it important that they have the word doctor before their name? Like, are these things that our community is searching for, or is this something that's less of an emphasis? So I do think we should kind of go back to the community and see if anything's really changed, and then also the teachers and the other stakeholders.
Okay, so along that vein, looking at this, survey that's in the packet, just quickly take a look, or just look through the questions. Any changes that anyone wants to make?
Do we want to put another, because somebody else might want something else to be on there?
You mean an open-ended comment?
Wait, where? What do you
I
think?
think there's
At
no
the
end.
bottom? The problem is,
It's not measurable.
yeah, how do you measure that?
No,
Yeah.
I know.
So how do you measure that, right?
We
Like-
decided that, during the last search, we didn't wanna have that.
So that's why we took out that short phrases, single words, right? So, and we replaced it with involving stakeholder input in the decision-making process.
The one thing we added last time that I don't see here again is experience. I see the special ed practices, and I guess we can kind of pull that in, since we do have the Park Academy. I think we need to have something along those lines, since that is part of the responsibilities of the superintendent.
Would you want that more detailed?
I don't know, I just think that it's unique to our district, that somebody with some sort of special ed background might be important, more important than the
So-
other districts.
So if we look at the whole questions, demonstrates expertise in and up-to-date knowledge of effective curriculum, instructional practices, and special
I
education.
think like special ed needs to be its own standalone.
I think we can leave this open for suggestions if anybody wants, we don't need to do it now. We can open this up to, where this isn't going out tomorrow, so maybe we can take the weekend, and then circle back if anyone has anything they wanna add or modify here. This isn't done yet, right, so we can play around with this, take a little time to do that,
But we
right?
do have time, like, we do
Yeah, we
have to be concerned about time also.
Yeah, I wanna stress that, and I agree, this doesn't have to be done this moment, but time is important. We know
Right.
there's a lot of openings, and you don't wanna be the last one to hire a superintendent,
So
because you're gonna be losing candidates.
along those lines, I think if we're looking at the timeline and process, I think, to your point, we can take a look at this, collectively as a group, gather the information that we did from the last search to be able to compare and contrast what other districts maybe have used, but I really think we need to post the opening ASAP. Like, I just looked on school boards, and Cresthill is open now too. So when you look at Bergen County openings, you've got Park Ridge will be posted, Emerson is in the process, Cresthill just advertised, Waldwick is advertised, and Fort Lee is advertised.
And Upper River's in their second year of an interim.
And Fort Lee is actually posted for a May 1st start date. So just in terms of timelines, I think people often think July 1st. We talked last meeting about how our board will be intact. There aren't any contested seats. I think if there were contested seats, you probably wouldn't want to start the interview process until January when your new board is seated. But I think considering that we're all gonna be back here, and we have that continuity, I think if we can post ASAP, then we start gathering resumes, then we're fine tuning this information, and then we've gathered this information, and then we can take the information from the surveys and any, small group meetings meetings that we've had with stakeholders, and then use that information in reviewing the resumes, and then maybe even start interviews after Thanksgiving. To try, I know it's busy around the holidays, but if we can get interviews, at least first rounds done in December, you come back, you knock out second round in January, then we're ready to make an offer in February.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
How about if with this survey, Monday morning, by Monday morning, so that gives,
meeting Monday, right?
yes, but that gives everyone time to read it over, think about what, if anything, they would like to change, add, blah, blah, blah. We have to give our inputs by Monday morning, and, Dirk, I guess you would take the input, or Cindy, one or the other?
Well, this is for stakeholders, right? This is not
It's for
for
stakeholders.
us.
Yeah.
So I actually think we have more time.
I
on this.
agree.
I
I
think
think
more
we have more
important is to
time on
get
this.
the
How
jobs.
do you guys create a job?
I agree, that
Okay,
needs to
so-
be,
The job
needs to
posting
be
is
done
gonna
by
be
the end
very
of next
general
week, I
now,
think.
because it can't target
gotta be done.
anything that.
Okay,
I
so
think if
let's
we
do
go back
that.
to our last job
Right.
posting, which I know we need to get,
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to think that the job posting that we put out now is gonna be that much different than the job
So-
posting that
Correct.
we put out previously.
Very,
I
very
agree.
general.
We need to focus on that, that's,
Okay.
I agree with Mike.
Okay, perfect.
Focus on that, this
So-
can come along in the, like, 2 weeks or so, we can get that done.
We just need this done before we start looking at resumes.
Yeah,
Correct.
so let's set a deadline to get this back. So 2 weeks from today,
Oh, can't we just still have it ready by Monday?
or
I
Monday?
still feel
Yeah,
like.
I mean, you can, it's not a,
But we
you
can
know,
always meet
we worked on this already, the last round. So this is pretty, you know, based on, obviously, we have new members here, but we did this.
I'll get it to you by.
The difference is
Yeah,
though,
bring it
how are
to
we
me.
going to crunch this data? Some of the questions are similar to one another, are we breaking them together
I think we-
into categories after that?
Let's,
This is where I am recommending that there is a steering committee.
Yeah.
'Cause otherwise, you're gonna have too many cooks in the kitchen,
Right.
and it's gonna be difficult to accomplish a task.
Especially raw data.
I
Like,
think
let's
Dr.
say
Ward's,
organize it.
if
So
you're listening.
just going back
No,
to,
you can't have,
No.
it has to be a board committee.
No, I meant just
that's
to
data.
measure.
Yeah.
I think if we're looking to set like timelines and goals, I would look at this and say, we wanna have the job posting at least on school boards, K-12, JobSpot, any of the major advertising sites by October 6th.
That's the end of next week, right?
That's Monday.
And last time, like,
It's Monday after. so-
last time,
Yeah.
we unanimously decided we don't need any national posting because we really are looking for people in the Bergen County
Right, right.
area.
So as far as the steering committee, let's get that out of the way first so that we can kind of get an idea of how this is gonna roll. So, Deb and I had talked about it, and, so we're gonna do 4 people, and it's gonna be Deb and I, Elizabeth, and Mike. And I think that gives us a good, you know, sampling of everybody on the board, educator, you know, somebody works in HR, and then Deb and I.
Towns,
Yes,
cover towns,
exactly.
yeah, like that.
So, everyone okay with that? Is that? Alright, so we'll do that, so we know the 4 of us are gonna work on that. The job posting, if, I'm trying to find the last time.
Yeah, I'll help you with that,
Okay.
and I'll send it to the committee.
Okay,
So then this thing, when we look at it on Monday, give it to you?
Send it to the committee.
you can send it to me, you can send
Just
it,
so you, somebody has.
yeah,
Yes.
just send it to me,
Then you do it.
I'll forward it to him.
Right.
But all in one shot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, so I guess we just need to find that job description. As soon as, we are able to find that, I think we send it out to the steering committee,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah, and we'll probably a good idea to look at a couple current ones.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
Okay. I mean, it's not rocket science.
No.
We're not reinventing the wheel here, so it's not. Yeah, so
Yeah.
let's get that out, ASAP. Mike said, let's look at October sixth. Does everyone agree on October sixth?
Why don't we do Friday, next Friday? 3rd.
Depends on
aggressive.
when we
Well,
get it.
We gotta get it.
Gotta get it first,
Gotta
yeah.
get it. You wanna see if people will adjust it, and then we need time to
Okay.
get it out to the.
If we get it before, great, but at least
I
this
think the
way we're
deadline's
not crunched for time, let's just say October sixth.
Okay.
We do it earlier, great.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Before you had mentioned, you said job description, did you mean job posting or?
Posting,
just-
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was sure you also wanted the
No,
description.
Just, I mean, it's probably, like,
No, no, I'm just like,
it
okay,
would be
so
great to
okay.
work with that too, just to
Yeah.
kind of
We
look
do
at
have
it.
that.
You have it?
No, no.
Job
The job
description.
Yeah, but the job description is going to help us drive
Yep.
this other. yeah,
So if you
okay.
would send me that,
Yeah,
that would be great, Jill, thank you. Okay,
Can we all see that definition?
Sure, I just, actually tomorrow with the Friday briefing, we'll attach that.
Oh,
Yeah,
perfect,
perfect.
thank you.
so then data collection, we're working on this. By Monday, everyone have your, are we done with talking about posting?
Wait, yeah, posting's fine, but this is going out to the community. Do we have a similar thing going out to staff, board members?
It's the same.
It's the same one.
But I mean, is that, we're gonna have separate collections? I'm sorry, that's what I meant, it's going out to everybody, but is that gonna be, is the data gonna be looked at differently?
It's the same Survey Monkey.
Or you.
But I don't want,
Actually-
I wanna separate it out, like, what this is what.
So,
So you, when you data collect like that, you can,
Sort
weed
say
out.
who is who.
Yeah, so,
Right.
you know, again, since Dr. Russo, he can say, okay, everyone, we are volunteering Dr. Russo to help us. If you say students, then all the students' answers come in and we see what's the most important thing to them. We can see what's to support staff, you know,
So we need to figure out what criteria we want to identify there. So what do we want the job out to be? You're a teacher, you're a student, you're
it's all here.
Okay.
Administrator, teacher,
Parent,
support
all
staff,
that.
parent, community member, student.
perfect, okay,
Perfect,
Yeah.
okay.
I like it.
Okay. Anything else with the posting or with the community outreach?
I would limit them to like 2, the forums, the focus groups, whatever.
So we didn't talk about that yet at all.
Yeah.
So that's something that we have to talk about. So data collection, what's everyone's thoughts on focus groups? Do we have time?
When you did them in Glen Ridge and the board led the search, who conducted the focus groups?
our attorney did it. I don't believe this district's attorney will conduct it.
Well, not.
That's something they haven't done,
Outside.
it's outside their realm.
So if it's not the attorney, who would then?
That's a good
The
question.
committee.
So it could be the committee, you could reach out to another firm to conduct them.
What would we get out of a focus group that we're not
I
getting
remember
on the
this.
surveys?
We get
It's just a-
qualitative data.
Yeah, you get,
Opposed to-
yeah, exactly. Quantitative versus qualitative. That's what it is.
So then, why not just provide the opportunity for open-ended on the survey?
This is kind of scattershot. Can't really.
It's a focus component then. You're bringing in, groups of teacher leaders, you might wanna hear from administrators. It's more personalized
Yeah.
communication.
I
You
think-
might wanna hear from, the parent leaders of the, the parent association, the booster club leaders, who have a band, people who are more involved in the school system.
So then it sounds like it would be either members of the subcommittee or would you
Yeah.
participate in something like that?
I could, yeah.
Yeah.
So we can,
And just 1 to 2, in my opinion, 1 to 2.
1 to 2 focus
You might
groups.
wanna have the,
Groups.
yes,
Groups out.
grouped out. You
Yeah,
don't want
we
the
could do
parents
that.
in with administrators.
Yeah,
right.
That has to be good.
But I think all staff
And
could be one.
you're gonna wanna.
Parents could be another.
Right,
Yeah,
definitely,
I-
definitely students
To
as
me,
well.
that's super important.
Well, what you have on the top of the survey there,
It's there.
within 1 or 2, maybe, but those groups,
Yeah.
We can always combine parent and community member, right? Like,
Right.
So that could go together.
that's what I mean,
So-
like 1 now.
And I think teachers.
Teachers and support staff,
Administration,
yeah.
all 3 of them. kind of
Well,
together.
administration administration,
That
I think
might
is
be a
super
good idea.
important
Yeah.
for that personalized sort of input, so I really feel like administration has to have their own, focus group.
You're talking about 4 focus groups, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So just again, to go back to timelines and trying to think about this realistically, if we posted the position on October 6th, and then the expectation was to have resumes by, what's a good amount of time to have it open a month? 3 weeks? If resumes had to be in by, say, again, I'm just spitballing here, November 3rd, then you're able to sort through the resumes in November and potentially bring people in for first round interviews on December 6th and 13th, which are the first 2 Saturdays in December. And then you could, then if you're backing it out, conduct focus groups, you know, the week of October 20th and 27th before we start doing resume review. So post the job on
You
the
have to wait that long.
I think,
To wait that long.
I think December's
For what?
gonna be dicey.
For the focus groups, I think we could do it.
Well, you're working on their
Mid-October.
schedules.
No, so I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
around the
yeah.
20th.
100%.
You could be, so, we're jumping around on different things.
Yeah.
But when you're talking first round interviews, you may wanna do them in the evening and make them virtual too, the first rounds.
Right,
That's happening all the time.
right.
People are also asking for video submissions.
Yes,
Mm,
yes.
yeah, that's a good point.
Because depending on how many people you wanna bring in, it's gonna save you time, it's gonna save them time, and you're gonna, you know, if you've been through the interview process, you quickly weed out people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, when I think about when we went through it the last time, that's a great point. We devoted an hour to each person who we were meeting for the first time.
I would not,
And that was a lot of time to
Yeah.
invest. So maybe we want to think of video submission first, virtual first round, which,
Okay.
It's a great suggestion.
To go back to focus groups for a second, do we have to wait to do focus groups?
I don't
Or
think
we
so.
can't, like, say,
I-
okay,
Oh, yeah,
for
because
example, if we got the administrators, like, definitely the 2 principals, and they said, listen, I can meet next Thursday, what about you guys, the steering committee? If we can all meet, I say we do it.
is it, my only question is, would it be good practice to have this set?
That's
before we
gotta be
start the
first.
meeting?
Well, that's gonna be Monday.
Oh, it's gonna be Monday.
Do Monday,
Okay.
we're gonna clean that up.
So that's going out in the focus group, how soon after this then?
I think we want to have it advertised before we start having
yes,
focus
I
groups.
agree.
So, okay, so we can start scheduling or just like tentatively after October 6th, do focus groups after October 6th.
So next week, we're gonna clean this up, and we're gonna get the posting out.
Right?
And then right after that, the following week, we can do the focus groups, we can start on that. 1 to 2 a week, you know, 2 a week,
If we do 2 the week of the
before
13th,
October.
2 the
We're
week of the
done.
20th, 2 the week of the 27th, they're
And then
all
we're
done.
done.
Exactly.
Resumes close on, say, November 3rd.
Who's on focus groups?
Here,
It's the steering committee, and perhaps you.
yeah, you're in.
What did you say?
Before the
What did you say,
20th,
Mike?
school boards.
November 3rd, resumes close.
Is anyone going to school boards?
Steph is.
You'll represent us. But nobody on the steering committee.
Yes.
Not
So
a,
if
not
I'm-
a steering.
I'm down there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just
That's okay.
if you're gonna have me.
We'll keep that in mind.
How much time should be devoted to a focus group?
I don't know,
An hour.
hour at the most.
Okay, perfect.
Hour at the
Perfect.
most.
I love it.
I'd say about 45 minutes.
Love it.
And you'll have more come out if you say this is like a half an hour commitment, we just wanna get a general feel.
Uh-huh.
Well, maybe we can figure out which ones we can piggyback, so that we knock out 2 focus groups and,
Not a bad idea.
Okay, all right.
7 to 9. We got it done. All right.
How do we see ourselves versus all these other towns that have opened?
We're the best.
It's the best.
Yeah, what is that? Most of
Everybody's gonna be applying.
You're unique because you're 9 through 12,
Yeah,
So there.
right?
Regional.
So,
And we're regional.
they're gonna be looking at, if I'm a K through 12 district, I'm looking for someone, to be honest, who has a lot of unique experiences throughout that span. And that doesn't happen now, to be honest. As a K through 12, you can focus in on people who clearly have high school experience. You know, you're probably not gonna, that's for you guys to decide as a board, you're probably not gonna focus on someone who's been just at an elementary level, right? Or at a middle school level. So that makes you kind of unique that way. Having to deal with, 4 towns, it is unique also. But I think when you also look at how well this district is ran and the support system it has in place, I think it's a very attractive position. I do not think you're gonna have a problem being quality candidates.
Did we, decide how long we're gonna post the job for?
It was 30 minutes.
30.
Perfect. Okay, what else?
So let's go ahead and flip into your results. So, Mike, can you say that, timeline again that you said at the start of,
So if we advertise by the 6th,
right?
we could then do focus groups the week of the 13th, 20th, 27th. The application window closes on the 3rd. We're there then into resume review the weeks of the 10th and the 17th. Then that's the week of Thanksgiving, where potentially we're starting to review as a board. And then starting the 1st of December would be first round interviews, either virtually, in person, or asking people to submit. So it kind of takes us through 3 months.
Yeah.
Post, resumes reviewed, interviews start in December. And then we would narrow the pool down once we got to January, and then potentially we're in negotiations with someone for February and looking to appoint someone in February. They give 60 days, that's March and April. I mean, potentially May 1st, or most people 60 or 90 days. 60. I mean, you could potentially be looking at May 1st. I mean, that's the timeline that 4D's on right now.
It gives us room. We
Yeah,
have
it gives us room.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Great.
And we're gonna offer a video submission.
Well, we
Yeah, we'll
haven't
talk about
decided
that.
that yet, I
Video
think.
or virtual?
Focus groups or it'll be in person.
Yes.
Okay.
Will they open that up to virtual for people who can't attend? Will it be day streamed or no? I don't know that it needs to be, I'm just asking.
In my opinion, I think it should be in,
Sure.
like, come in.
Okay, perfect.
Okay?
Okay, love it.
What else?
This was good.
Anything else that we need to talk about that we have not talked about?
We're gonna give our comments on this.
Yeah. Monday.
So Monday, please, everybody, whoever has a comment, concern, blah, 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 wants to add a question or something like that, please have it by Monday morning. If you don't say anything, then hold your peace and make, it is what it is. And then, by this October 6th is when we are looking to have the job posting out.
I just want us to type up like, number 5.
And the
Okay.
survey is gonna go out how?
Survey Monkey.
Yeah.
We have
Who's sending that out?
we have the sample of focus group from the next question.
I don't know, we'll wait for them. We'll see.
I'm gonna try to get everything from,
Yeah.
So you figure, what, how many questions in a whole focus group?
usually you ask 4 or 5 at the
Yeah,
most.
that's what I'm,
in touch with you, with my old POE person, so. And they're going through it again, so.
Okay. Anything else that anyone would like to talk about in regards to the superintendent search that we did not discuss already? Okay, so can we move forward?
Yep.
Next, we have comments from the public. Citizens are invited to make comments and are limited to 3 minutes according to the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education Policy Number 0167. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, sign in,